Wake up, YouTube. In today's video, I want to talk about a realistic side hustle that you can start today in under an hour with no initial investment required. So if you're interested in earning a little bit of extra money per month, please consider watching till the end of the video. Thanks. Let's get into it. Before we get into it, I want to say that I have personally had success with this side hustle, earning over $3,000 US in just a few months of time. And if you're able to put more time into it, you can definitely earn more than that. And I'm just a regular dude without an exceptional skill set. So if you do have skills that are likely better than mine, there's a ton of earning potential here for you. If this proven side hustle sounds interesting to you, please stay until the end of the video. I'm going to provide some tips for how I got started and how I started earning really quickly within days of starting. We've all seen the videos from the 22-year-old gurus who have 14 streams of income and multiple side hustles. Whether it's Amazon KDP or print on demand or a niche blog website with affiliate marketing. These are all obviously proven examples of side hustles, but in many cases, they do require an initial investment. And there's a pretty steep learning curve in terms of learning how those systems work, how to monetize those systems, how to write a book or execute on the various platforms. So ultimately, they may not be fully realistic for someone who works a 9-to-5, who's just looking to put in maybe a few extra hours whenever they have some time available to earn that extra bit of cash. That's why freelancing on Fiverr, in my opinion, is a proven side hustle that I would recommend to anyone who's looking to generate that extra little bit of cash with skills that they already have at a time that's flexible for them. What I love most about Fiverr is the range of skills, the range of services that people are selling to prospective buyers, right? Whether you have editing skills or photography skills, writing skills, drawing skills, anything. People around the world are looking for help and they're willing to pay for your skills and expertise. And I use the term expertise lightly because you don't even need to necessarily be an expert. You obviously just need, through your profile and through your gig, to demonstrate that you do have a certain skill level and to price yourself accordingly. And whether you're an expert or not, somebody might see what you're offering and be like, you know what, that will work for my purposes, and I'm willing to spend a bit of money to get your services. That's what I love most about it. You know, we all have certain things that we're skilled in. We may not be an expert in it. We may not have credentials in that particular area, but it might be something that we've been working on. It might be a hobby that we've been working on for years where we're much better than someone who's just starting out. And so the beauty of Fiverr and freelancing is that you can set your own price accordingly. You can sit back and you can wait for orders to start coming in. As a starting point, I highly encourage you to just take a look through Fiverr at the range of services that people are providing for money, right? Writing wedding speeches, editing people's books, creating logos. It seems like no matter what, if you really think about some of the skills, some of the things that you've done, you'll be able to think of an offering that you can make on Fiverr. If you really sit down, brainstorm, what am I good at? What are some things that I've done multiple times? Is there anything that I could do that a newcomer or someone who's never done it before would benefit from my knowledge, my expertise as a bit of a guide? Think about that and start to do some research on the platform. See if people are already offering that service. One reason I particularly like Fiverr is that it's just incredibly flexible as a side hustle, right? A side hustle is truly meant to be just that, on the side of your traditional 9-to-5, right? It's on the side of the main thing that you're doing in your life. So perfectly, it's free to start, right? You want to be earning money. You don't necessarily want to be spending money at the beginning with the risk that it doesn't quite pan out or that you actually don't have as much time as you thought to invest into it. So it's free to start. That's great. You don't need to buy any programs depending on what service you're providing. And if it's a hobby that you already do, it's possible that you already have that service in place, right? You can set your own price, right? You can set the price for the amount of time that you know it will take you to complete the service. And you can set how quickly you'll be able to deliver whatever you're offering. And that's huge too, right? It's a side hustle after all. So if you think you can turn it around in 2 days, great. You can make that part of your offering. But if you know it's going to take you about a week because you can only do it on weekends, then you can put that. And people have the choice whether they want to choose you or not. So that's the beauty of it. It's free and it's completely flexible. Ultimately, the reason that I love it is that you can get started right away. You can do it however you want, right? You get to set the parameters of your gig. however you want to do it, whenever you want to do it, how quickly you want to do it. And I will now jump into my experience and tell you how I got started. So when you're thinking about getting started on Fiverr, obviously now you've brainstormed a couple ideas that you're like, you know what, I think I could offer this service to people and they might be willing to pay me some money to help them. Here's how I got started, right? I strategized, I thought about what skills I had to offer. What things would people potentially spend money on the internet? I'm a strong writer. I'm a volunteer career coach. So I do have some experience helping new graduates and young professionals with their cover letters, resumes, interview advice, job search advice. That was sort of the foundation that I was working on. And I thought, you know what, writing, pretty valuable skill. I'm a pretty strong writer. No one likes the job hunt process. And we've all been there where we've been struggling to find a job and we've been rewriting that resume and rewriting cover letters. And so I thought that's kind of an interesting thing that I could do. I have some expertise in, and I might be able to help people improve their resumes, improve their cover letters, and ultimately get jobs. That was my idea. So maybe I could help review people's resumes on Fiverr. Maybe I could help people write cover letters for job postings that they're interested in. I was onto something. I looked at what other people were offering in the space, and sure enough, many people were already providing that service, right? There's tons of career coaches, career consultants, etc., who are helping people with resumes, helping people with cover letters, doing like mock interviews to help them in the job hunt process. So I thought, how could I be slightly different? And you can do that too for whatever skill you're doing. So do some market research on Fiverr, see what people are offering. Think about how you can make your offering a little bit more unique, right? So my edge, there's a lot of people offering generic cover letter templates. I was taking it a different angle. I was saying, I'll give you a cover letter that's tailored specifically to the job application that you're working on. So if you're applying to be a grocery store clerk at Sobeys, then send me the cover letter, send me the job posting, and I will help write the cover letter for you that hits some of those target keywords in the job description and will allow you to hopefully land the interview. So when you hop into Fiverr, right, you have your idea, you have sort of your unique offering. You can set up your profile incredibly quickly. I recommend using a professional looking photo and spending a bit of time. It'd probably take you about an hour to set it up in total. Spend a little bit of time describing your service, setting up your gig, set up the description of the service and what you have to offer. And the most important tip that I have for getting started is to set your price incredibly low. Lower than you'd like, lower than what's fair, lower than the amount of time that you're planning to spend on completing the service, completing the task. So at the beginning, you're going to be earning a very low amount. But the thinking behind this is that you need to build up those positive reviews, right? It's like people do with books or anything really. They try and get it out there. They try to generate positive reviews. Then hopefully that leads to more people coming and being interested in buying your service or your product, right? Same thing with Fiverr. That's what I did. Okay, I set my price incredibly low so that it was very competitive, right? There's many people. It's a pretty competitive space, resume, cover letter, interviews. Many people interested in the service. So I thought my edge will be that my price will be incredibly low, but my profile will look pretty professional and that people might take a chance on that, right? People don't want to necessarily spend a ton of money on any freelancer that they haven't worked with before, right? And I feel like there's a bit of risk there. So keeping the price low, I thought, would make me competitive. And I also set my delivery time to pretty fast because I noticed other people were like, I need a week to turn that around. And so I gave people the option within my gig to pay a little bit more money if they wanted it to be done a little bit quicker. So those two pieces of advice I would say are critical if you're able to set the price pretty low at the beginning and try and offer something that's a little bit different than what people are offering. And that might set you apart. That might help get you a few customers to begin with. And this strategy was really successful for me. Okay, the first few customers that you get are going to be blown away by the quality that you can provide, A, in such a short amount of time, and B, for such a cheap price, right? I spent way too long on each order, considering I was making very little amount of money, like $10 to $20 or something. Way less than I would make hourly, just like working at my job or anything like that. Over time, once you start building up the reviews, right, you get solid reviews because you provide a great value. Over time, you can start to increase the price, and that's where you start to make some money. Ultimately, in the end, I did about 150 orders with 132 unique customers. Ended up and I ended up with a rating of 5 out of 5. So I think all my reviews were exceptional, except 2 were 5 out of 5 stars. My average selling price at the end was $29, even though I started, again, very low, $10 or so per cover letter. And I made a total of $3,200 USD in just a few months before I decided to take a break. I was going to focus on my career. We were having a baby. A bunch of things came up in life. But if I had kept going, I'm sure I would still be making money doing it today. Now, knowing some of you out there have way more marketable skills than I do, the potential here is huge, right? The best part is that there's no barrier to entry, right? You can sign up. You can do a little bit of research on the platform, decide what service you want to offer and how you want to offer it, and start earning money immediately if you take those few steps to set up your profile in a professional way. Use skills and tools that you already have without a steep learning curve, no initial investment, no capital required, 1 hour tops to set everything up and start waiting for your first customers to start messaging you. So what are you waiting for? Thanks for watching. I hope you found this to be inspiring and useful. Freelancing online allows you to use skills and programs that you already have when it's convenient for you in as much time as you need, so long as people are interested in purchasing. So it's up to you to kind of make that sales pitch, make your profile look professional enough that they're willing to invest in you a little bit and give you a try. That's where managing the price is important. And it's not the only freelance website out there, as I mentioned before. So do some research. Fiverr's the one that I used. It works fine, but there's others as well that you can use. It's not passive, and I understand that. You're still exchanging your time for your money. But if you are looking to just earn a little bit of extra income each month, then I highly recommend you doing this exercise, thinking about what skills you could offer someone else on the internet, and you'd be surprised who's willing to spend some money on it. Thanks for watching. If you stayed until the end, please consider subscribing. This channel is all about personal finance. We talk about earning, saving, and investing as much as possible. If that sounds interesting to you, come along for the ride. I'd really appreciate it. Hoping to make 100 videos. It's still early days yet. So stick around. Thanks. We'll see you again soon.